Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS News for Monday, June 11. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has called on the world's largest economies to review the international financing policies that classify many small island developing states as upper middle income states. Mr. Holness was speaking to the G7 leaders during a historic appearance at their 2018 summit held in Quebec, Canada from June 8 to 9. As he explained in an interview with JIS News, the Prime Minister asserted that the classification puts countries like Jamaica at a disadvantage for accessing the financing needed to grow their economies and responded to the ravaging effects of climate change.
In fact, I made a point that the best partnership that the more developed countries could seek to strike with small island developing states is to be more facilitating of our economic growth and trade and technology transfer, and developing a global system that is more understanding of the issues faced by small island developing states.
The G7, or Group of Seven, represents the largest economies of the world, namely the United States, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, Japan, Italy, and Canada. Mr. Holness was invited to their 2018 summit in Quebec by Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And while in Canada, Prime Minister Andrew Holness assured business leaders and entrepreneurs in Toronto that Jamaica was a good bet for their investment. He stressed that the country was on a stronger economic path and being managed in a manner where government plans are certain.
In other words, you can plan because you will be able to know what the government is likely to do. And the truth is that we are at that position where, by properly managing our finances, that government is unlikely to be imposing any new taxes on the people of the country because we have been profligate or in any way indiscreet in our management of the fiscal affairs of the country. So investors can rest assured that government will not place an additional burden on you by virtue of taxes.
Mr. Holness was addressing the Canadian business leaders and entrepreneurs at a forum hosted by JAMPRO. He encouraged them to do business with Jamaica as the economy continues to improve. Among other things, the Prime Minister stressed that the country was investing in its human resource and had made significant gains in reducing the debt-to-GDP ratio, which is set to fall below 100% at the end of this year.
I want to reassure investors that it is now a part of the DNA of our government, regardless of whichever administration is in, that governments in Jamaica must be fiscally responsible.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says government will be intensifying the implementation of the Public Health Tobacco Control regulations. The regulations prohibit smoking in specified public places.
It will include mandatory prohibition on tobacco advertising, promotion and sponsorship, including a ban on point-of-sale tobacco displays, the prohibition of sale of all forms of tobacco products to and by minors, and the regulation of price and tax measures to effectively contribute to the reduction of tobacco consumption.
Minister Tufton was speaking in Parliament recently. He insisted that tobacco was a major contributor to Jamaica's issues with non-communicable diseases, which are placing a health and economic burden on the country. A public education campaign is to be rolled out to increase awareness of the tobacco control legislation. And finally, the country's first transitional living complex for children in state care is in the final stages of completion and on track to be opened in August. The complex, being built at 24 Lady Musgrave Road in Kingston, will house 18 to 21-year-old girls who have aged out of state care and have no options for safe housing. It's being built at a cost of $135 million and will have the capacity to accommodate 40 young women. State Minister for Education, Youth and Information Floyd Green toured the facility last Thursday.
It has always been a difficulty across our child protection system where we have children who are leaving state care, transitioning out of our homes, but have nowhere else to go.
The complex has 7 4-bedroom suites with double and single room accommodation, in addition to shared living, dining and kitchen spaces. The apartments will be outfitted with furniture and appliances. There is also a manager suite with separate office space and laundry facilities.
And I'm very happy to see that in the design some critical things have been contemplated, such as disabled access. We want to ensure that all the buildings that we make that we do across the ministry, that we're taking care of not some children, not some of our cohort, but all of our populations.
During their stay over a period of 2 to 3 years, the residents will be mentored to achieve personal and career goals in preparation for independent living. 2 additional transitional facilities will be constructed, including one for boys. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.